Hey y'all, hey y'all, hey. This is KendyK all day. And friends, I am super excited to present to some, introduce to others. The one and the only low carb queen is our guest this morning for coffee and conversations. Can you believe it? Y'all, I've been looking forward to this interview most of the month of August. I mean, I am super excited this morning to welcome in our special guest, Low Carb Queen. Low Carb Queen, welcome to KendyK's Kitchen. Welcome to this edition of Coffee and Conversations. How are you this morning, Queen?
Well, thank you for having me. I'm doing good under the circumstances.
Yes, bless your heart. You are indeed a trooper. Low Carb Queen, let viewers know what's going on with you this week while we are just so humbled that you even wanted to press your way and join us for coffee and conversation.
Well, went back to work. I'm in education, so I did go back to work. And subsequently, I have COVID. I was feeling sick. I only work part-time, 4 days a week, from 8 to 1. And so Thursday, I came home. I wasn't feeling well. I took a nap. And when I woke up, I slept a long time. And when I woke up about 7 o'clock, I felt even worse. So I was like, let me get up and go to emergency, which is unusual for me. So I
You must be
did. And
mighty bad.
yeah, I was feeling bad. And I knew I asked around the house, did anybody have a COVID test? Because if you've ever had COVID before, you know exactly what's going on. That my head, my neck, I was like, oh, this feels like a COVID headache. Let me find out. And sure enough, that's what it was. I'm feeling much better today. So, thank God for that.
See now, see you just said your head, you said your neck, and I literally typed that to somebody. I said, "Man, my neck is all stiff." I've not been feeling the best the last couple of days, and I keep saying because I work from home. I'm like, where have I been? I did go in Sam's Club,
Mm-hmm.
but in the early morning hours, during the plus hours.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I guess that might, I don't know. I do have some COVID tests, and now you got me thinking, but I feel slightly better, but I was up all night. I was up all night.
Wow. Well, have you had
Yes,
COVID before? I'm sorry.
I have once
So
before when I
you,
came back from Greece. Look, we almost at that time. I went to Greece last September, and that is the one thing I brought back from Greece is
oh,
COVID.
wow.
Yes, and I'm pretty sure I caught it on the plane home.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Yep, I'm pretty sure that's when I
Wow.
caught it. It was on the plane home, and I mean, it took me. That's my first time having COVID.
Oh,
Um, I felt like I might have had it once before after I felt it, but I never tested positive that time. But that time after Greece, I immediately tested positive. I was like, oh my God, I got COVID. I got COVID. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Have you ever had COVID?
I have. I've had it twice, and I've been vaccinated. So
Yeah, me too.
yeah.
Me too. I'm wondering if the chronic allergy and sinus issues, which are now to me, since I had COVID last September, have been chronically worse.
Mm.
I don't feel like my breathing ever returned to normal, though, my
Yeah.
O2 stats and stuff are fine. Levels are normal, 98, 99, 100. But I just, mm-mm.
It's I agree. It's something about COVID that, as they say, hits different. It sort of changes you completely. You
Right.
can't put your finger on it. Between the brain fog, the
I
extreme
already had brain fog.
tiredness.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, so I totally agree.
Well, we hope you feel better, and we're
Thank
just
you.
gonna tarry on as long as you can tarry on. But you let me know, sister friend, if this is not working for you. You just do like this. Do like the preachers do. That means wrap that thing up real fast, real fast.
Okay.
And I knew what Bishop Richardson, he used to do this right here. That means sit down and sit down fast because you are out of order in his pulpit.
So,
Amen.
listen.
Amen. Yeah, we've got so many friends in the chat. Let's just say good morning to the friends in the chat. Welcoming in one of my crew members, Monique Poe, is in that chat saying good morning, KendyK and the Low Carb Queen, and to the chat. I love that our communities are coming together. Miss V coming in on your
Hey.
side of things, Low Carb Queen. Say good morning to Miss V. Look at all the friends coming in. Keto Granny is welcoming on
Hey.
your side of things. You are well connected, y'all. This is a big interview for KendyK. It is my esteemed pleasure to welcome
Oh,
in
well,
Low Carb Queen. Low Carb Queen, you have been in the YouTube streets for a minute. Tell
I
us just a
have.
brief introduction about your journey. What made you start your channels? Give us all of that, Low Carb Queen.
Well, I started probably about 6 years ago now. Um, and my daughter kept telling me, you should do YouTube. I started on my other channel as Pastor Kim's Corner, and she kept telling me to start a channel because I was sending out emails every day to people for them to get, a scripture. And
Yes.
so I finally listened. Teachers make the worst students. So I finally
I've
listened,
heard that before. I've heard that.
and I was so intrigued by it. I mean, she was explaining everything to me, and we were trying out different things, the mukbangs, the reviews, the ASMRs. I mean, and so I got kind of sidetracked because I was having a ball, vlogging and learning all the stuff about YouTube. I mean, I was still doing my morning motivations, but just kind of staying focused. And so I started my weight loss journey over there on Pastor Kim's Corner. But then I decided to create a new channel to keep everything separate. And so that's how that came about. And so yeah, so I've been I can't remember how long I've been with Low Carb Queen, but my real dedication has been about maybe like a year or close to 2 years now of really trying to do this weight loss journey and document it, so to speak, video document it. And I'm really I'm excited about it. And I also prayed about it, because you can get caught up into so many new things, especially with social media. So I
Yes.
did pray about it. And then my third channel, which I don't really talk about that much, it's just kind of
Third,
out.
what Queen, Low Carb Queen.
I know.
Did y'all peep that? Then she said that like good morning, but I have a third channel.
Well, the third channel is a faceless channel. So,
Okay.
it's the same concept, putting out scriptures every day. And it's shorts. It's not really, I just started doing long videos over there, but that's kind of on the back burner because it's hard enough for me to juggle two channels. So when I can get over there, usually I try to batch my shorts, and so I'll batch like a week of shorts
Mm-hmm.
and put them over there, and then just let that go because it is faceless. And now that they have new rules about faceless channels, I've probably been doing it even less. I think I'm okay with
I think you
with
are
that.
too.
Yeah, I think I'm okay with that. But yeah, it's called I Am Here, and that's just that's sort of a well, it is a Christian channel, and it's
Yeah.
just again the same thing, scriptures. But like I said, my goal right now is to be monetized on Low Carb Queen, so that's what I'm working
Okay.
towards.
Okay. Is your other channel monetized,
Yes, my other
Pastor
channel,
Kim?
yeah, Pastor Kim's Corner is monetized. But see, this is the thing about monetization. Once you become monetized, it's almost like you have to start from scratch. You're
Yes.
like you're building all over again,
Yes.
And so, it really helps if you build, your views, get your viewers and everything ahead of time, because once you do that, which was about, that I did a video about growth streams on my
Yes.
other channel. And so once you do that, it's like I said, you've got to keep that going, if not more. So yeah, I was still talking about that. I only get about 3 checks a year over on Pastor Kim's Corner, but that's okay. That's my ministry. That's part of ministry. So I don't really stress about getting coins over there, because you can't get any money until you that you already know, like $100. Once you get $100, then that's when they'll pay you once a month. So if it takes you 6 months to get $100, then that's what you're going to get. And on the 6th month, that's when you'll get your $100.
Okay, and so I am just partially monetized. Let's put that out there. I'm in what I call the last mile to get to the 4,000 watch hours towards full monetization. I certainly have, and I'm so grateful for the 1,300 plus who have subscribed to KendyK all day. Kim, you are doing amazing work in these YouTube streets as a retired lady who has, shout out to the educators. Shout out to the educators worldwide who are so committed to America's young people that you would go back, a high school math teacher
Hmm.
who returned to work with our youngest babies in our public schools. Thank you for your service. Thank
Thank
you for
you.
your service.
Thank you. I had a quick question for you. You said partially monetized. I've heard that term. They didn't have that back when I started.
Okay.
What does that mean?
Well, this is what I know it to mean, that I can get supers, like
God.
super chats or super stickers. I can get gain earnings off of memberships. And I
Okay.
just
Okay.
have the one membership level, KendyK's crew. If you're not a member of the crew, it's welcome and available to everyone. I
Got
only
you.
have one membership level, and I only turned the memberships on so I could learn. And that's why I only have one membership level. That's why it's 99 cents, because I want to be able to give back to all the friends who have supported KendyK all day as I've been in these YouTube streets. And
And
I'm
so,
just learning.
what's the
So that's what
partial?
partial is. And it's 500 subscribers and 3,000 watch hours,
Got you.
to
Okay.
answer
Okay.
your question. 500 subscribers and 3,000 watch hours. And they may not call it partial. I think the technical term might be initial monetization. And then full monetization is the 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours.
Okay.
Yes. So that's where I am. I have gotten my PIN number, but
Mhm.
as you said, I have not yet gotten a YouTube check because y'all friends, I don't even know that I've had memberships. Well, memberships might have been available and stickers and all that for probably just over 30 days now.
Mhm.
When I say all of this is new to me, and I am learning in lightning speed as a
Yeah.
woman of a particular age, y'all, because it's a lot to digest.
It
Starting a
is.
YouTube channel
It
for
is.
me at 48 years old, y'all, that's a lot.
It
it's a,
is a lot.
it's a lot because I didn't do social media at all.
Mhm.
Kim, I didn't. I had a YouTube. I mean, I had a Facebook channel like everybody did, but it had
Mhm.
probably been 15 years or more since
Mhm.
I've used Facebook, and I stopped using Facebook because it was moving too fast. Things kept changing, and how do you do this? And then I couldn't remember the password to get back in the thing. And I said, you know what? I really wasn't feeling that anyway. So I just left it alone. So
Mm-hmm.
this
I
has been a
understand.
lot. And so to see you moving and grooving in these YouTube streets, to see you and to see you are on your way down. You are doing so good
Thank you.
with your lifestyle journey and your weight loss journey. That is how I got connected to the low carb queen. I believe my first time seeing you was over on Stephanie 57 Journeys channel.
Okay.
And you all were doing y'all's Saturday morning weight loss. And
Mm-hmm.
I said, look at these ladies. And look at these beautiful women who were just, up and getting moving. That's
Mm-hmm.
all you all were doing, and doing a lot of laughing and talking. And you all just looked beautiful to
Well,
me,
thank you.
to the point that y'all made me get up and get moving. And at first, I would just be up and moving. I'd get on my vibration plate. I have a little yoga flow. And I really do need to make a point of shouting out the plus size yoga flows that are available for free on YouTube, because I really do use that to get my day started.
Mm-hmm.
Vibration plate, 10 minutes. And you have a vibration plate as
Mm-hmm.
well. Love
Yeah.
that thing, especially for me working at home. I definitely jump on it every morning.
Yeah.
And if I've been on in a Zoom meeting, which is basically what I do most of the
Mm-hmm.
day, it's a Zoom meeting after Zoom meeting. I jump on that thing for 10 minutes, and I just like to shake my body down, and it just makes me feel better. I just feel
Mm-hmm.
better. I don't know what it is, but it's really a West Coast vibe too,
Okay.
because everybody in the Pacific Northwest has a vibration plate, young and
Oh,
old.
okay.
So I don't know if it came from the West Coast, but baby, it's a vibe on the West Coast, and they have really, like, they have vibration plates that they spend hundreds of dollars on.
Wow.
And I got mine, for like 35, $40, but it
Okay.
works. It works for me. It shakes me down in the way that I need it to. And so
Uh-huh.
I love that you have some of those same things as part of your routines. But yeah, that's where I met you, on Stephanie 57's journey.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't even know that I knew you had a channel, but somehow or another, the algorithm is being the algorithm. And so whomever
Mm-hmm.
you're talking to, I remember talking to y'all in the chat as you all were working out, and I was probably laying in the bed or sitting on the couch looking at y'all, and it made me get up and start moving
Well,
more
that's
in my
good.
home. So you, low carb queen, you are inspiring so many.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, we were
Many.
out there. Stephanie and Miss V and I, we were trying
Yeah.
to, just do our own exercise. And yeah, I enjoyed that. We did that for a while. We might go back.
Look who is joining us from across
Oh,
the pond. It is Joe's Sleep and Slim Down Journey. I love me some Joe,
I
and
do too.
thank you. Low Carb Queen just did an interview just a couple of weeks ago with
Hmm.
Joe's Sleep and Slim Down Journey, y'all. 10 out of 10. Highly recommend the Low Carb Queen. Y'all know I mention Low Carb Queen
Thank
just
you.
about every time I am live now, because Low
I do
Carb
the same
Queen
thing. I
is
do.
where it's at. But I also highly recommend Joe's Sleep and Slim Down Journey. Joe's Sleep and Slim Down Journey is such a unique personality. And Joe, I predict you are YouTube gold.
Yes.
Baby, gold. But anyway, this is all about the low carb queen. But
Oh,
low
listen.
carb queen, you are tearing up these YouTube streets. Low carb queen for me, because thank you. Thank you for your service to the young people of America, and thank you for your service to the plus size curvy
Thank
women
you.
of America. Stand up in your royalty like the low carb queen, because low carb queen, you're so fashionable. I can see you're a fashion lady. Yes, you are. I
Oh,
love
thank
all
you.
your hair looks. I mean, hashtag, you just give me goals for life. And you have such a beautiful spirit as a woman
Thank
of God.
you.
So when I say goals, I'm talking about goals for everything,
Mm,
the world needs more women like you. I was able to pop into Bible study this week. I
Oh,
said,
praise. That's right. Yes.
what a word. And wow, wow. And
God
when
is good.
I say Pastor Kim's Corner, 10 out of 10, I highly recommend y'all
Thank
lean into
you.
that. I love that you have taken ministry to the internet because the world, as y'all can see, all that's going on around us
Yes.
in this
Mhm.
country, in this world at this moment, we need a whole bunch of more Jesus.
Yeah.
And after since COVID, speaking of COVID, the black church for sure is different.
Yeah.
And churches that did not pivot are struggling
Hmm.
since COVID. And so many have closed. We have got to reinvent. Same Bible, same God, same Jesus, right?
Hmm.
Same Holy Spirit. But you I think that's where we may have gone wrong is folks did not pivot and rethink how we're doing church
Hmm.
in this moment. And change is just that, it's change. And you've
Yeah.
got to be able to pivot and change with how you're delivering the word, when and how folks access church, how folks
Absolutely.
access church. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And Kim, you're a mom, and you said all these babies and folks and grown people, young people, all these folks call you Glam Mom. Is it Glam Mom?
Yeah, actually that's Dana. Now, first of all, I was married. My first marriage, I was married for 30 years and I had 5 children out of that marriage.
Uh-huh.
And then that marriage dissolved and I moved to North Carolina. And so subsequently moving to North Carolina, I met someone and remarried. And I have a bonus daughter out of that marriage. And so, but Dana, with the 7 children that call me Grandma, she was actually my student when she was in the 7th grade. And so she's grown up. I have several students that I still am in contact with over the years because I taught her in Philadelphia. And so now she's grown up and is married and has 7 children, and
Oh,
yeah, but we've kept in touch over the years. And yeah, so it happens that way. Sometimes you'll have children or students who just cling to you. It's a little bit different now because times have changed and people have changed, which is partially why I did an early retirement. After COVID, I did an early retirement because everything had just changed so drastically, and the education system was trying to just like sort of put a blanket over everything. Let's just pretend like this never happened and let's just continue as usual. When I tell you it was bad, and I know we're here to talk about low carb queen, but
no,
when you
no,
start
go
talking about
ahead.
education, but when I tell you it was bad, it was bad after COVID. And so those, like, I taught ninth grade, ninth and 10th graders. So those students who were coming into my classroom the last time they were in school was in the middle of their 7th grade year. So they just were not ready for high school, and it was bad. Like I say, the administration, that they wanted you to just pretend like nothing happened and just teach regular, teach the current curriculum. These kids haven't been in school. They didn't have any idea what I was talking about,
Yeah, these children lost greater than 1 year of
Yeah,
academic learning.
exactly. And so it
No,
was
the
just,
world, we are not the same. I don't
no,
think we're the same.
and all they
Yeah.
wanted to do was socialize. Because they had been isolated for a year and a
Yeah.
half, almost 2 years. All they wanted to do was socialize, and it was bad. I was like, I can't do this. So And I was a teacher who, I always taught in Title I schools. So, the bad kids, I would get the quote unquote bad kids in my class, because they knew I was kind of like a tough teacher or tough skin or whatever you wanted to call it. But honey, I started crying. They were crying. I was crying. I was like,
Yeah.
I can't do this.
Yeah.
So, and I was crying because I couldn't tell. I wasn't crying because I was sad. I was crying because I couldn't tell nobody's child off. So that's why I was
Wow.
crying.
So you said, let me rethink
Mm,
this, and
yeah, yeah,
you, wow, but again, still the commitment, because you're back, you're trying to help children. These babies done made you sick in a
mm,
few days. Bless your heart,
yeah,
bless your heart. I
yeah.
I want you to be better, because I
Thank
want to
you.
feel better too. We still got friends flowing in here. This chat is just
Yes.
blowing up. And friends, it is not low carb queen. It is me, but because I am mesmerized. We got a superstar in the building. We've got the
Oh
low
my
carb
God.
queen for coffee and conversations, y'all. But we do have some questions. So let me get to some questions,
Okay.
because that's what this is. But KendyK is kind of fanning out, because
Oh my
I've got a
God.
big one here. I've got the low carb queen, y'all.
Mm-mm.
Queen. We've got to treat her like the queen that she is, and she is a queen in these YouTube streets. And you're
Mm-mm.
every bit to me a connector as well, because I
Okay.
have learned about so many weight loss channels from you, from just so many other good channels that I want to be connected with, and that I've been able
Mhm.
to subscribe to, because I've been watching your content. You mentioned folks, you have hosted folks on your channel. So I just love all that. I love that synergy, and I love the ability to find your village and find
Yes.
and build your community organically. We're going to talk a little bit more about these what did you call them, streams? You just did that video.
Growth streams.
Growth streams. We're going to talk a little bit about that. But someone asked in the chat, let me find that question. Someone asked, how is it for you to, I'm going to paraphrase it if I don't see it right quick, but how is it for you to maintain your diet? And you did keto, and now you're on GLP-1s as a journey. How hard is that to maintain your diet? And I believe that was from our friend Claire, the missing link. So I'll be looking for that question. But talk a
Okay.
little bit about your weight loss journey, and how you stay on track with making good choices and working your weight loss and your lifestyle change.
Well, weight loss is extremely difficult, period. I mean, if it was easy, then, over 45% of the US population would not be classified as either overweight or obese. So it's
Did you
just,
say
I
45%?
believe it is. I believe it is. We can definitely Google or X ChatGPT, but I believe over 45% of the US is considered overweight. And so it is not easy, period. And it's a lifestyle change, and that's what I'm learning. It is definitely a lifestyle change. You can't just do something to lose weight. It's kind of like I used to tell my students, you can't just work hard to go from a C to an A and then just go, okay, I'm good. You have to work even harder to maintain that A.
Yes.
At the very least, you're going to have to do everything that you did to get there. And so that's the same thing with weight loss. It's maintaining, it's the consistency of changing the habits and the lifestyle changes. And so it's also rediscovering, who you are, because for me, food is directly related to who I am. I've been an emotional eater. I've recognized that and trying not to be an emotional eater. I mean, back in the day, I was slim, when I was younger. And so over the years, putting on weight, I have a child, exercise, lose weight, get pregnant again, yada, yada, yada. So, at some point, it's just like, I just said, I'm just going to just live my life and just try not to focus on weight. But you have to think about, if you gain 10 pounds a year over 10 years, that's 100 pounds. You know what I mean? And so,
Yeah.
you can, it doesn't, it kind of sneaks up on you. But trying to maintain, I have been, like I said, I started Mounjaro at the top of 2025 because I found myself being triggered and eating emotionally. And also, even as a Christian, you know what I mean? Our vices are few, allegedly. Okay, allegedly.
Allegedly.
You
Yes.
know, I mean, you don't smoke, you don't drink, you know what I'm saying? So, I remember somebody had got saved one time. They were newly saved in our church in Philadelphia. And she was like, is this all y'all do is eat? Like every
Yeah.
after service, you're going out to dinner. You're bringing food,
Mhm. Mhm.
you're bringing, plates in. Everybody's bringing a covered dish. Like everything is surrounded by food. You know what I
Yeah, and
mean?
then it's the birthday Sunday. Then they roll out those cupcakes full of icing, you know.
The banquets,
Yes.
So, so it is, it's all about food. So it's just,
And I think in our culture, I think that as a people, um, we have as a as people, as Black people. I'm not sorry. I'm trying to be all just as an African American woman. Our culture it really values food because you know there is an economic disparity in this country if you haven't noticed, and food is the common denominator, and
mhm,
food, we use food to soothe us,
yeah,
and food, what I know for sure about me, I'm speaking for me, food is in fact an addiction, and sugar for me
that's it right
is
there.
an addiction. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because food, like, and you'll hear people say this, like, I don't really eat that much, blah, blah, blah. I don't consider myself a big overeater, like, piles and piles of food or, two or three pork chops or whatever. But I am a snacker. I will, those sweet and salty,
Yeah.
I will snack. And, I mean, even when I was teaching, the adults and children knew me as the candy lady because I had a big jar, okay, a big jar of candy that I would keep. I wouldn't keep it out because then I'd have to fill it up about 2 or 3 times a week from people coming in. But I would, keep it to the side because if people, what you got any candy? I know you got candy, Miss Parsons. I know you got candy. So even now, even though I'm working part time, candy. I'm the candy lady. So it takes it takes time, and for some more than others, and so I do have pencils and stickers because I'm trying to balance it out, trying not to give out
Hmm.
so much candy. And one girl, a little girl, said to me one day, she was like, I don't eat candy. I was like, what? So then I had to get some pencils for her, like, she was being
Yes.
trained early,
Yes.
not to have so much sugar. And sugar is more addictive than like heroin or some drugs, and it is very, very addictive. So it takes work and it takes time, but I'll get there, and I am getting there. When I look back and think, then I realize that I'm doing better. Because we can be very hard on ourselves. So
Yes, we can.
I realize that I'm doing better.
You're doing wonderful. You
Well, thank you.
for me, because I can see, for instance, let me give y'all a for instance here, and thank you all in the chat. They continue to be sharing things through the chat. I'm trying to throw them up, but I'm telling y'all, I'm fanning out here. This is the low carb queen in front of us. Queen, you you sent 2 photos for me to create a thumbnail for us for this live stream, and you had one with like long braids and stuff, and I said, why would Kim send me this picture? Clearly at a different point in your life because you have lost so many pounds. I
Or
tried to use that photo and I said, I cannot because you your your body is just slimming down, and I want
thank
to
God.
show folks that version of you because it is so motivating to see you showing and being so transparent. I That is why you are my go-to. And y'all, I
You.
start every day and usually end every day with the low carb queens content because one, you
You.
got all of those keto low carb dishes that you've come up with, and you tell us where you got the recipe from, and you say, but this is what I did, or you know you redo the recipe, you try it again. I
Mm-hmm.
love that about your content because you're just so very transparent about everything, how you're feeling when you get a higher dose. For those that don't know, I am not using GLP-1s yet, but you have me really rethinking that. And I do, in fact, plan to talk to my doctor about GLP-1s. We've had conversations before about
Mm-hmm.
GLP-1s.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I'm just working with a registered dietitian, and I've been with a registered dietitian for almost a year. And friends, am I losing weight? Yes. But friends, I am still trying to get it to 20 pounds in a year.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like, yeah, I certainly need some help because you might have been thin at one point in your life. I've always been a little fat girl. Even when I was a little girl, I was a little fat girl. I was
I'm not
too
gonna say
cute
you
as all
super
get
thin.
out now. Cute as all get out. But I was always the cute little girl. My mama used to put me and my sister in the cutest dresses that she had sewn on her sewing machine, and we'd have to
Mm.
walk around the school so everybody could see our new outfits because maybe we had some outfits because she made them on her machine. But y'all, that I've always been the curvy girl, the plus size woman, and you still can't tell me nothing. but yeah, but I've also had. I'm now 49 years old, and I had a total knee replacement. Who, I
Mm.
mean, you know, when the surgeon it tells you that, ma'am, you are bone on bone, and the left side is worse than the right, and
Mm.
we see no other relief other than a total knee replacement. Y'all, I had a total knee replacement 1 week before the world shut down for COVID.
Wow.
Yes, so it's been a few years, y'all,
Mm-hmm.
since the I want to say it was 2020 when I had the total knee replacement, and y'all, that was a stark reality for me,
Mm-hmm.
and because most of the times it is too much weight on these knees, and
Mm-hmm.
just to be honest, and I lost a lot of weight before the total knee replacement. In fact, um, I had to lose the weight. My father is deceased. He had diabetes, type 2 diabetes. I don't want diabetes, it scares me. And
Mm-hmm.
so just stark reality check for me.
Yes.
And that is when I found out, when I had to lose weight for the total knee replacement, I realized that sugar is an addiction,
Mm-hmm.
and it is real. And the monkey was on my back. I need a little bit of sugar, and I feel like as a woman of a particular age, low carb queen, the urges get stronger as I get older. I'm like, I used to laugh at my sister because she sometimes we would go out to dinner and we'd have our dessert before we had our meal. We would, because we wanted a little something sweet, but the urges
Mm-hmm.
get stronger. How do you deal with those types of urges even now after all of your weight loss?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I still, I'm the type of person I can't, I have to go cold turkey. I can't, like, if I'm not going to eat sugar or let's say chocolate, which is, one of the things, if I'm not going to have chocolate, then I'm not going to have it, because some people say, like, well, you can reward yourself at the end of the week. I can't do that.
Not with food.
It's
Not with
all or
food.
none. So I still do have chocolate, so to speak, but I try to monitor. And that's why I'm always trying to come up with, like I'll make the chocolate covered strawberries, but I'll use the Lily's chocolate and I'll use Splenda. And that tastes very good. I'm not going to lie to you because if it don't taste good, I'm not going to eat it.
Right.
So, making the chocolate covered strawberries. Once I made turtles, and I'm laughing
With
because one
pecans.
of the guys on the with the one of the guy on the live, Josh, he was like, you can't have like low carb turtles. There's no such thing. But I used dates and I used walnuts. I think it was walnuts or almonds, and then the Lily's chocolate. I love the Lily's chocolate. It satisfies, and dates, are sweet all by themselves. So
Yes.
it's you still have to make that stuff. So I'm just trying to come up with ways to satisfy my sweet tooth as opposed to, maybe eating Tootsie Rolls or peppermint patties. That's what I'm on right now, peppermint patties.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
you know.
I eat a lot of peppermint because it then my whole mouth tastes like peppermint, right? So then I don't want whatever else I'm trying to eat. I don't want the sweets or
hmm
anything because the peppermint kind of, you know, I, you know, sometimes I'll just go brush my teeth because then I know I can't, whatever I'm trying to eat, it's not going to taste right because I just brushed
Right.
my teeth and
hmm
use my
That's a good
mouthwash. So
idea.
y'all,
hmm
y'all, it is hard. It is
Yeah.
hard. And because I feel breaking generational curses,
hmm
um, it's hard. It is
It
weight
is.
loss is hard and I'm going to ask for GLP-1s and I don't know. It almost scares me to ask my doctor, and I don't know why. Because we've talked about it a little bit, but not seriously. And I'm like, yeah, because I want to feel better. I feel better already, but I want to feel even better, and I want to do more things, 50 and beyond, and getting some of this weight off these thighs that I call my ham hocks. I want to get rid of some of that. I want to get
Yeah,
rid of some of that
I
as
understand.
fast as I can because tomorrow is not promised to us at all.
I totally understand. I had thought about previously getting the weight loss surgery. I even went to a class for it. But every time I would, contemplate or move forward, something would happen. As a matter of fact, once I got kicked out of a program, that's another story. But I was just like, okay, God. And so when this came along, people were talking about it. First of all, I couldn't even convince myself to give myself a needle. Like, no, that's just not going to happen. But desperate times call for desperate measures. I started watching, I saw, that it looked like an EpiPen, so you're not actually seeing the needle, and I was desperate because, my highest weight was 394. And we can cry, boo-hoo, everything. I did all of that. But I was just like, I cannot hit 400. That's just not going to happen. And that was like in 2021. And so that's when I got on Ozempic. I started with Ozempic. And,
Mm.
I was working with that and I lost weight. Ozempic is great. I lost like 46 pounds in the first few months. And I was also doing keto at that time, and I was, really being strict about it. Keto is only 20 carbs a day. And that's, my channel was originally called Keto Queen, but I knew, I couldn't keep up with the 20 carbs a day. So that's why I changed it to low carbs. But I know I'm all over the place. That's how I talk
No,
sometimes.
you're doing fine. You're doing fine. I'm listening to every word you're saying. I'm like, yeah.
But my kidney levels started dropping, on Ozempic. And looking back, it was probably because I wasn't drinking enough water because you have to drink a lot of water, a
Mhm.
lot of water on these GLPs. So I just was like, okay, I'm not trading fat for kidneys. It's just not going to happen. I'll just be big. Whatever comes with that gradually, then I'll just take it. So I got off and I gained half that weight back and struggled not to gain all of it. I mean, I fought, to maintain.
Mm-hmm.
And so I did the 75 soft challenge, lost 18 pounds. And that was
Wow.
in 2024. So that brought me down into the 50s, because after Ozempic and gaining half that back, I was in the 70s, like 370s, between 365 and 375 all the time. And so now I'm at the top of January, because I've gotten down in the 50s doing that 75 soft. And now I'm at the top of January, and I'm being triggered by things that are happening in my life. So I'm like, oh my God, like when you know yourself, like people can say a lot of stuff. Like, sometimes I get upset when people say things, because people can speak things to you, but they can speak it freely because they don't have anything vested in you. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing to lose. It's just like if a person is praying for you and they're like, I don't know. Just like, let me give you an example. Like my mom, when my mom was in the hospital and one of her friends came in and she was like, I had been reading the scripture to my mom, and she was like, well, how often are you reading it? And my first reaction, which I didn't say to her, was, well, how often does it take? Like, if you know how many times I need to read the scripture to her, you let me know. But she could speak that because she doesn't have anything to lose. This is my mom. It's her friend, but it's my mom. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I get upset when people speak certain things and they don't, they have nothing vested in the situation and they don't know anything about me personally. And so I digress as usual. So when I started being
No.
triggered at
Yeah.
the bottom of 2024 and the top of 2025, I was like, I am not going to eat my way out of this problem. It's just
Yes.
not going to happen. And of course, I've been praying as a pastor. We are human beings. So I just talked to my doctor about. I actually talked to my doctor about Zepbound, because I have been watching different people,
Mm-hmm.
on YouTube. And she said, well, your insurance will probably pay for Mounjaro over Zepbound. So I was like, okay, well, fine. And
So
that's exactly,
Zepbound is just another GLP-1 like
yes,
Ozempic, and is it Mounjaro? How do you say the other one? The one you're on?
Mounjaro, Moun, yeah, Mounjaro. I don't know. Mounjaro. Some people say Mounjaro, some people say
Okay.
Mounjaro. I don't know. But yeah, that's so she said my insurance will probably pay for that one, which that's those the Mounjaro and Zepbound are allegedly the same thing. Ozempic is definitely geared towards the diabetic. Mounjaro and Zepbound are too, but it's called the trizepatide because it has another component that's an appetite suppressant. That's
Oh.
my understanding. Anybody in the chat can correct me if I'm wrong, but that's my understanding. And so,
And
sure enough,
Mounjaro has the appetite suppressant.
yes, and Zepbound.
Okay.
Mounjaro and Zepbound have the appetite suppressant in addition, to whatever it is, for diabetes. The whole concept of it is to slow your digestive system down so that you
Mm-hmm.
will feel fuller longer. That's the whole concept of it. But in that you do have to be careful what you eat and how much you eat.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you don't, you're gonna have a bunch of stuff in your system like a compost. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of.
That is a good analogy. Yes.
you know, because your stomach is going to start churning and moaning
Garbage
and
in,
groaning.
garbage out. Yes.
Yeah, it's going to start churning and moaning and groaning because the digestive system isn't moving at the rate that it's supposed to move. The acids aren't burning. And so this stuff is just bubbling in your system. So you have to eat less and you have to be selective about what you eat. Like you and I are similar. We do a lot of research. You know what I mean? We
Yes. To my detriment sometimes. I'm a reader. Yes.
So I have read all about it, the good, the bad, the horror stories, the ugly, everything. And so you have to be mindful about what you're doing. And so
Hmm.
but I was desperate. I didn't care. I was just like, okay, I'm
Yeah.
I'm going to stick myself with a needle and I'm going to try it and see how it goes. It's working for everybody, so hopefully it'll work for me.
And I'm gonna give you a moment. Let me talk for just a second, so that you can kind of catch your breath, take a sip of what you're drinking. Bless your heart, because I really am absorbing so much of this information, and the chat is at full blown capacity. Y'all keep chatting, keep asking good questions. But how much do you exercise? Do you do? I know for me, I made my own little 50 soft challenge, and that
Mm-hmm.
I made it as a content creation challenge, but definitely a lifestyle, because I needed to get up and moving. I told you I work from home, and that is another problem. It's good to work from home, but it makes you have a very sedentary lifestyle. And so
Mm-hmm.
I have to get up and get out there to that park and walk, or get around this house and walk and walk and walk. I'm cutting my own grass. So I hope this is just allergies and not something more than that. But I did cut that grass. I cut look, my energy was so low, and I was so tired, and it's so still so hot outside. But I've been cutting my grass all summer. I'm so proud of myself. So I
That's
cut the
good.
grass, but then I have the yard man, bless his heart, he laughs at me. But it's for me. Okay, right? I don't care who laughs, but I did. I cut the grass with my own lawnmower, and then he comes over and does the bushes and edges and everything for me. And I'm probably spending twice the money, but it doesn't matter, because it makes me move, it makes me sweat, and it keeps me up and moving. And whatever I do, if I'm watching Stephanie 57 Journey, I just get up and do aerobic workouts, use my weights, use my vibration plate. Y'all, there are so many plus size, curvy size, whatever you want to call yourself, videos available. There are even chair exercises.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just grateful that I don't have to do chair exercises. I can, but I'm able to get up and move my body, and I want to keep moving my body. So I've worked out with Coach Mean Reen. Did her program for 3 weeks. Now, y'all, that was a little much. And my doctor did even write me a prescription for physical therapy, so that we can get, the good insurance to go ahead and pay for that, right? And
Mm-hmm.
that really helped me with my knee, because I am a total knee replacement patient on the left side. And so to get more flexion or bend, and make sure and keep that scar tissue broken up,
Mm-hmm.
was able to do physical therapy. And again, I wanted physical therapy, and he was like, "Oh, well, okay, I'll write you a script. Let's see what they do." And
Mm-hmm.
so, yeah, I was able to go to physical therapy, and just more movement in my mind, more movement,
Yes.
and keep moving, get more steps in every day. And that's what I do. You want to share a little bit about what you do for exercise, low carb queen, in addition to your GLP-1s, because I think you need a balance of both.
Absolutely. I think part of the reason why I took part of the reason, not all of it, why I took a part-time job after retirement was to, so I wouldn't be sitting around all day. You know what I mean? So I have started exercising. Well, not really exercising, walking workout
That
three
is
times.
exercise.
Well, yeah, 3 times a week. I was doing that almost up until it was time for me to go back to work. Now, going back to work, I easily put in 5 to 6 thousand steps. Walking in and out of classrooms and stuff like that. So I haven't been able to be consistent, and I really enjoy walking outside. So I'm going to have to make time to do that. Along with the time changing, I don't really like to walk in the dark, but I got to figure it out. I was saying I'll do Thursday, Friday, maybe Saturday, or Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I'm doing that. Of course, the vibration plate maybe twice a week,
Mm-hmm.
and I have some weights. My doctor, the PA, actually physician assistant, was telling me, to do that, strength training. We all know when you're on the GLP-1 or any weight loss, you're going to lose muscle quicker than fat. So you have to begin to do some things. And so that's what I try to do. I'm not always as dedicated as I should be, but I definitely get in my walks Monday through Thursday through my job.
Yeah, I mean, if you're walking, because I think I wrote to you in the chat. I'm always writing to you in the chat after I watch your content,
Uh-huh.
Low Carb Queen. But I read somewhere, and I don't know if it's true or not, but I read somewhere that 2,000 steps on our Fitbits, our Apple Watches, whatever you have as a fitness tracker, 2,000 steps is kind of equivalent to 1 mile.
Yes, yes,
And
you confirmed that because somebody else told me that.
yeah, I think that's right. Or it sounds
Hmm.
good enough to me because I know when I have a 10,000 step day, that means in my mind, I have walked the equivalent of 5 miles and I
Hmm.
feel it. I feel tired for the
Yeah,
day, but I know I'm going to rest well. And I know that I have, sure enough, burnt a lot of calories.
absolutely.
It upsets me at this point to have a day where I'm just doing 4,000 steps because again, I work at home. So it's really
Hmm.
easy. I know if I don't get up and get to walking outside, I'm going to be low on my steps for the day.
Yeah,
And that is less movement. And the more I move, my joints feel better. I
yes,
feel better. And whatever I'm doing, I'm not eating. So I'll do it. It is a daily struggle for me. I am like you said something very early in this conversation. You talked about snacking, and I can fix high protein, low carb, high fiber all day long, right?
yes.
But then it's the snacking. I call it my witching hours. It is. I do, y'all. I call them my witching hours because it is something about I try to eat my dinner before 7 p.m. or no later than 7 p.m. And it is something about between 8:30ish and me going to bed. The urge for something salty or sweet kind of invades my body, and it is hard for me to shake that I'm a snacker.
Yeah,
I'm a snacker. I I I I don't have to eat my dinner. I can snack it. I can
yes.
just go from snack to snack to snack. You know.
Listen, I agree. I could skip dinner and have a nice bag of onion garlic chips. I'm good. But
Yeah, so I started leaving the chips at the store. um yeah, I would go out to Sam's Club and get that big bag of yellow Lay's original Lay's.
it's a process.
It's
I
a
mean
process.
it's definitely a process. And learning moderation, learning because you can't, and I think I've heard people talk about this before, and it's true. I mean, we all have similar experiences in this sense. You can't just continually deny yourself because then you're just going to binge.
Yeah.
If I continually deny myself something that I'm craving, then it's just going to, I mean, it's just going to be worse. So I just might as well get it. And, I don't have to overindulge, but just get it and then try to move on from there.
Hi, I just saw a friend come in to our stream, y'all. There's so many friends gathering, y'all. Charge it to my head, not to my heart, y'all. I'm told y'all I'm leaned in now to Low Carb Queen. Now she's one of my
Bless
favorites.
you.
Now I'm
Bless
sorry,
you.
I'm so sorry,
Bless you.
but New Life Journey has lost a substantial amount of weight, and New Life Journey had weight loss surgery. So interesting, and thank you for joining us, New Life Journey. I started watching New Life Journey during COVID and have been locked in with New Life Journey
Okay.
every since. So 10 out of 10, highly recommend her content. She's another just true, real one, sharing of their experiences and lost a substantial amount of weight. New Life Journey drinks a lot of coffee. And I said to myself, I think she drinks that coffee because it's something to drink versus overeating, maybe. I'm learning to drink tea because my dietitian keeps reminding me, and I know myself, my coffee is sweet. I drink coffee all year round, hot coffee.
Yeah.
and I love it because it's sweet. So now I am trying to drink more tea.
I chew a
And
lot of gum. I'm sorry, go ahead.
no, you go ahead.
No, I was just saying I chew a lot of gum. I just like I chew a lot of gum. I don't count it for calories or carbs. But if I have the desire to eat something, I will definitely chew gum first and see if that will curtail my cravings.
Joe's Sleep and Slim Down Journey is recommending nuts. Yes, yes, yes. Nuts are great, a high source of protein, and give you a bit of a feel of a snack. But again, I I pay more money right now, y'all. These are the things that I'm doing, and I think it's important for us to just be very transparent and talk about some of these issues. And I promise you, we're going to move more towards content creation in just 5 minutes or so. We're going to spend the rest of the time talking about content creation and helping folks and just talking about our journeys on YouTube. But with nuts, I have to buy everything, and I probably spend more money, on my grocery bill. But I have to buy everything in single serve packages, because when I buy in bulk, like for instance, if I buy the bucket of nuts from Sam's Club or from Costco, I will, number one, have to put that into 1 ounce packages, because you're only supposed to have an ounce. An ounce of nuts is in fact a serving. And
Hmm.
y'all, that's about 12 to 15 pieces of nuts. And who measures that out? Well, I have to, or I have to buy them in individual packages, or I will just eat nuts until all of the nuts are gone. And then I realize, KendyK, you have eaten a whole tub of nuts.
I know the
And that
feeling.
is nuts. And that is nuts. Yeah. Coach Mean Reen is in the building.
Hey, coach.
Ooh,
Yeah.
protein shakes. What do you do with protein shakes? I'm a protein shake drinker. Low Carb Queen, do you use protein shakes as part of your diet?
No, I don't. I bought this big thing of protein powder that I was going to use, excuse me, and make smoothies and stuff like that. I really have to try to get into that, making protein shakes and smoothies, because I think that'll help. The other thing that I was going to say, even with the GLP-1, the snacking is still, you still have to slow down. It will cause you to slow down your amount of snacks and stuff that you eat. Your food, your snacks, all of that. It's going to slow all of that down. So that, I mean, I feel like
Promise.
that's helpful.
Okay. Okay. So that will quiet what you call the food noise. Y'all, that was a new term for me that I
Me
learned
too.
through Low Carb Queen, the food noise. And I don't know if you coined that or if that's what they call it in, GLP-1 communities. But that is the perfect term for it. It is like someone, some little devil or something sitting on your shoulder, telling you, eat me, slaver me with this, or, get extra. No, 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 no. But what I've seen, y'all, with the weight loss that I have had in the past year, is I feel like my stomach is smaller because I cannot consume as much food. And you've talked a lot about that, because there's a thin line between overeating and overindulging, and it just does not feel good. And so I know that my stomach has shrunk a little bit, um, and I'm grateful for that. And I also can't eat a lot of trash food. The reason why I cook most of my meals and the reason why I meal prep is so that I can cook a quick meal that is high protein and low carb at home on most
Hmm.
days of the week. Because when I eat in the road, it just tears my stomach up now. And
Yeah.
I actually appreciate that, because I don't need to be eating that trash food anyway. And
Hmm.
so the fact that it just tears my belly up, there you have it. KendyK, you shouldn't have been eating that mess anyway. You should have been fixing your food, which is why I do meal prep. That's why I do a lot of meal prep on my channel. And you'll see, I am not a fancy cook. I just cook some protein and some vegetables or salad to go with that. And I just think about the cornbread that I would want with it, but I'm not gonna make it. That's what I do. That's what I do. Friends are still in this chat. Let me throw up. Yeah, talking about the food noise. Coach Meereen just popped in here, and we were just talking about Coach Meereen because I have did Coach Meereen's. She does Zoom workouts. Check out Coach Meereen. And but y'all, you got to be ready for Coach Meereen. Now, she the truth. She is the truth, and she does not take no for an answer. But she's great in these
Yes,
YouTube
she
streets
is.
as a health coach. And sometimes we need some tougher. She's fair. She's firm. She's firm. That's what the mean is in Coach Meereen. She is firm, and she is going to get you up and moving. And for sure, she did that for me, and worked out with her for right about 3 weeks. And that Thursday workout is a beast. That's all I'm gonna say. Tracy coming in from your side. I walked 3 miles
Hey.
this morning, 7,400 steps. Ooh, keep going, keep going.
Oh,
You are almost to 10,000 steps. Um, excellent,
yeah.
excellent, excellent. Keep going. You'll be at 5 miles if 2,000 steps is a mile. Wow, Tracy and Twan's life. Love that. I love
Yeah,
that. Keep
Tracy's
on
a
it.
Torrance off. Yeah, she's lost over 100 pounds. Yeah,
Whoa.
yeah, she's doing real good. Yeah.
Congratulations, Tracy. So you're able to, because I see all these faces in the chat. I can't wait to go back and connect with some of these channels. Let's kind of shift gears but friends, y'all continue to ask questions through the chat about Low Carb Queen and her give us your taglines that you say at the end. I love when you say that.
Oh,
Give it to
low,
us. Just give it to
low
us.
carb journey, low carb life with your low carb queen. And remember, every day is a new beginning. Bye bye.
I love it, love it, love. Don't y'all go anywhere. Don't y'all go anywhere because we've got the low carb queen, and we've got the low carb queen for just a little bit more time today. And I want you all, if you have any questions about being a content creator or growing your channel or even starting a channel. So let me ask you this, and then we're gonna make that transition to talk more a little about content creation or whatever we want. This is our time together. Thank you for joining me for coffee and conversation. What are you sipping on? Are you having coffee this morning or no?
I'm just having water.
I've got ice water in my Care Bear mug.
Uh-huh.
That's all I'm drinking on, and I'm gonna have some hot tea because I don't know if y'all hear I'm still nasally and all that going on. But anyway, yeah, no coffee because I already had my cup of coffee a week. I'm down to one a week, except for hard times. I reserve the right to have some hard, stressful times where I need.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes I think last week I had 3 cups of coffee, but y'all, I used to have several cups a day, and it was all sweet. So I've stopped. And I saw someone had put in the chat about protein shakes, and I did start putting protein shake in my coffee instead of the creamer. And that's another pro tip I would share. That helped a lot. And yep, it still worked, and it still made my coffee was fine. But that helped a lot. Do you drink coffee? I know we talked a little bit about coffee. Do you drink coffee? Do you
I
like coffee?
do. I do. I'm limited to 3 times a week, but I drink coffee.
Okay.
I'm an avid coffee drinker, but you know, my nurse practitioner said, just limited 3 times a week. So
Yeah, unless you're drinking it black. And if you're drinking it straight black, I think they say you can have as much as you want. But I know
oh,
I
okay.
put a lot of sweetness in my coffee. Fruit is a healthy snack. I love apples now, and grapes. Yeah, apples are my go-to for the minute now, and I love apples. And then I use mixed berry oikos. It's a 20-gram Greek yogurt, mixed berry. I use it like a dip, and I just love it because then it feels like I'm snacking. And but I'm getting high fiber from that apple and high protein from the yogurt. So that's kind of what I'm snacking on a lot
Okay.
here lately. Yeah, that's about all I have for snacks right at this moment. Yeah, it's a challenge.
It is. I was
You
doing
gotta get
protein
motivated.
bars for a while.
Okay.
Yeah, I love the Quest protein bars. It's another one I think called Barbell. And
And the Quest bars are delicious. I
yeah,
said, why? You know why I stopped buying them? Because I was watching my grocery hauls. I was just watching some old content. And I said, I gotta get some more of those Quest bars. Them things are $8 though.
yeah,
$8.88
yeah,
for four.
yeah. They've gone up. They definitely have gone up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm
Yeah.
trying to be more intentional about my snacks. Buying the little, the things that have the apples, the cheese, and some type of protein in there. And so again, it's a process. You're learning how to eat for nutrition. Just
Yes.
not to eat for pleasure. We're accustomed to eating for pleasure, and
Yep.
so you have to change that mindset that this has to be, getting your protein in, getting the fiber in. All of that is intentional for the purpose of nutrition. And I mean, listen, I'm old school, so it's a process.
It is a process. So we've learned that you want to make your channel, you want to get monetized. So y'all, 10 out of 10, I highly recommend her, the low carb queen. She's just a great human in
Thank
these YouTube streets, and certainly outside of these YouTube streets. I can just tell. I just It's called discernment. You better get you
Oh,
some. Get with the Lord and get some discernment about
thank
folks'
you.
spirits. Um, but yeah, you're just a great human. I am enjoying getting to know you and getting to know the channels that you watch and frequent. And I love how you move in the YouTube streets. Your consistency as a content creator is unmatched
Oh
because
wow, thanks.
every day I said, oh, she's got another short. And so I did hear you say early in this that you batch your shorts. So
Hmm.
that makes a lot of sense. I feel like it's difficult for me to be, or at least I'm making using that as an excuse. I think though, Kim, to tell you the truth, I hate to say it, but I don't think I am as consistent as I need to be because I'm still working full time. So I'm dictated by that full time job because I need that full time paycheck. And it makes me have to shift things. And then, so as the weekend picks up, I had some, pay time off time, so I was able to take off Fridays for this month. But next month I'm back in that thing 5 days a week working, and I'm like, how on earth am I going to do content creation? And this is not my vibe. And I'm trying to grow my channel over here, but it's difficult. So you are using a lot of batching, and so when do you do most of your content creation work? I guess that's what I'm asking, because you always seem to have notes and you have all your things ready. It seems like you have it all figured out. Can you share some of what your what is your flow like in a week as a
I
content creator with 3 channels, y'all?
I don't even have it all together. Trust and believe. Trust and believe. Okay. I don't know whether it's because, I raised a lot of children or what. You just have to move and flow. Now, I will say this. I did put, well, my daughter did it first for me. She put in everything that I do, including my job, all of that. She put all of that into chat and asked chat GPT to create a schedule for me. And it did. It absolutely did. Okay. I mean, everything. You put as much in there as you can, and it will create a full schedule. Now, do I follow that schedule? No, not all the time and not to a T. But when I find myself getting lost, I can go back and look at it. It'll tell you, when you could do this, when you could do that. And so,
Wow, that's
yeah,
a pro tip.
yeah, and so it's just trying to follow, all those different things. Like I also have an Etsy store But I have an Etsy store, I have a website, I'm just like out there. When they say multiple streams of income, I'm
Yes.
taking it, to the next level. Now, the income may not be coming in like I wanted to, but at least I'm putting it out and hopefully it'll turn around.
What do you sell on your Etsy site?
I sell t-shirts.
Wow.
Yeah, I sell t-shirts. It's Pastor Kim's print. So I sell t-shirts, I sell mugs, and I sell refrigerator magnets. And most of the time that picks up, around the holidays. Like, it's not my thing is, you have to be a good marketer in this day and age. And marketing is not my strength. You have to be a good marketer. Back in the day, you could just put it out there, word of mouth, but you really have to be good at marketing. So I mostly work when I come home from work. Like, YouTube is almost like a full-time job. I mean, it's a
It is.
hobby
It
for
feels
me.
like it.
Yeah, because when I come home from work, I work. I'm a night owl, so I might not wake up. When I say wake up, like come alive to start doing stuff until about 8 or 9 o'clock. That's why some of my
In the evening.
videos, yeah, that's why some of my videos come out at 12, 1 o'clock in the morning, because I have gotten up and when I say gotten up, I could have been watching Netflix for an hour or two, but I'm a bit of a night owl. And so, just that's when I do a lot of my work, like that. I've tried to, like I say, go by the schedule in terms of maybe like doing low carb queen on Mondays and Wednesdays, Pastor Kim on Tuesdays and Thursdays, that type of thing. But I just flex and flow. That's what I do. I just flex and flow and try to, as far as the batching is concerned, um, if you want your subscriber numbers to come up, then of course you do shorts. If you want your watch hours, then you got to do videos, and those videos should be at least, some people say 16 minutes, some people say 20, some people say 30. Like
Wow.
it's easier. Like if you have a 16-minute video and somebody comes in and watches 2 minutes of it, you're not going to get that much watch hours. But if you
Right.
have 30-minute video and somebody watches 8 minutes, you'll get more watch hours. I just don't like long videos, so I struggle with that. You know,
I think
uh,
COVID did that to us anyway. I think technology has made our attention span very small. And, think our phones give us all these, 4K, billions of vibrant colors moving, you know, at lightning speed on our phones. And so I think we just, as humans, I don't think we have the attention span, because it's hard for me to settle my brain to read books. And I was an avid reader of fiction
mhm,
books. I read
mhm.
for the pleasure and for the love of reading. It is so hard. It's so difficult now for me to settle my brain. And I think it's because look at we have access to
Too
everything,
much information. Yeah,
too
yeah.
much information. We have access at our fingertips. But y'all, the pro tip was, hey, let Chat GPT create a schedule for you. Wow, I never thought of that. I'm going to try it. I'm going to try that with Chat GPT. Thank you. Version 5 just dropped the first week of August. So we are now on version 5 of Chat GPT. And if you use Chat GPT, you are automatically using version 5, even
Hmm.
free versions of Chat GPT. So you keep saying Chat GPT. Are you paying for Chat GPT, or are you using the free version?
I pay for chat. I do, and I pay for it because you can ask it as many questions as you want, but after a certain number of questions, then it doesn't store your information anymore on the free version.
Hmm.
So that's why I pay for it, because if I want to go back to something that I asked previously or look in my library, I can pull that up.
Okay. Now I'm using the free version, Kim, and I have a library, and so I don't know. But you said how much it will store. I don't know, but I'm trying to use Chat GPT more, and I'm trying to see what I can get out of the free version because I do use Chat GPT at work, but of course, work has the pro version.
Mhm.
So, you know what I think the more you prompt it and give it the right prompts, and that is what I am learning how to do now. So you probably have to give it less of prompts than I'm using with the free version, but you Chat GPT can really, if you activate it correctly, it can really help you and assist you with your workflow as a content creator. Would you say that that's true?
Absolutely. Now, I didn't know that version 5 had hit. I learned that from you. So, yes. But while I was using version 4, because at first I was using the free version, and
Mm-hmm.
I would reach a point where it would say, it wasn't saying that I couldn't ask any more questions. It was just saying this, these questions from this point on, it's not being stored. Something like that it was saying. So I have to
Oh,
find out the difference.
really?
Yeah, but that was on version 4. So
Yeah,
I
I
have to
haven't run
find
into
out.
that at all. No.
Yeah, I'm going to have to find out the difference between the free version and the paying version, because if I don't have to pay for it, then I won't.
Mhm,
You
mhm,
know what I'm saying?
mhm,
So,
mhm.
yeah, so I have to find that out. And yeah, but I was afraid, and that's partially why I put out that new video on SEOs. I know you did one on SEOs. I don't know if you watched it, but
I
I
didn't
put
you
in
had a new one this week on
I
SEOs?
just I just put it out about 1 o'clock in the morning, night before last. But I
With
put in
COVID.
that
With COVID, she did this, y'all.
I have been working on it. I put in that video, if you want to know, if go to KendyK if you want to know how to anything about SEOs with Chat GPT. Go to Ken, I literally put that in the video. But a lot of people in my age bracket, a lot of older people, more mature, whatever you want to call it, let's say 50 and older, I don't know, 45 and older, because I have a daughter who's in her 40s and she has no social media. She has no desire for it. But
That
a
was
lot of
me.
people don't want Chat GPT. They're like, no, they're collecting all of my information. They don't want to know about it. So
Mhm.
I put the video out about SEOs as another way that you could get the best SEO without Chat GPT. But ChatGPT will help you with everything. I didn't want to use it in the beginning, and then my daughter kept
Mhm.
talking to me, and you know, I have a millennial daughter who's she knows everything, so she kept
They're
telling
handy
me
for that. Aren't these children handy for that? They
they
they can get
are
you, they can gather you together real quick and point you at
yes,
least in the right direction. Things that it takes us, an hour or two to fumble through.
yes,
They will be
yes,
like,
indeed,
they'll be like, you trying to do what? They'll be like, give me
yes,
your phone. And they'd be like, here, this is what you wanted. I'm like, shut up talking to me right
absolutely,
now. Be quiet talking to me right now.
absolutely,
Right, right.
absolutely.
I should add, I only eat the chicken eggs and not the chickens. Okay. I eat a lot of eggs. It's a perfect protein for me, especially on the go. I always try to put a few hard boiled eggs, you know, have them boiled and just in the fridge for a snack for
Hmm.
me, or dice them up for protein on a salad as well. Y'all, so many things coming in the chat. Let me try to do better about this chat. Here is Joe. I love me some Chat GPT. I pay for it as well. That's how I make AI generated videos. Ooh, you make whole videos. Oh, this is
Hmm.
something new.
Hmm.
Y'all, I'm loving learning about Chat GPT and intentionally trying to get as much as I can out of it for free. And y'all, everything I've wanted, I've gotten and have been super impressed with the results. So please join me tomorrow for the Sunday edition of Shop Talk, our content creator makerspace. It is a live streamed question and answer for content creators on YouTube. And it's a sunrise edition. It starts at 10:30 Eastern time, 9:30 Central time, 7:30 Pacific time, because KendyK goes to church Sunday, every Sunday. So make sure it's an hour of power. And on Sundays, we do video cameras optional. So as long as I know you and everybody in the chat, you are invited to co-host the stream with me. Kim has come and co-hosted the stream with me. Low Carb
Yeah.
Queen has been my co-host. Loved it. You brought such a great perspective as a monetized creator to the space. And so you're always welcome back. You know that though. And friends, I am trying to show more of these great comments coming through. There are so many folks in the chat.
So while you're doing that, of course, I looked up the difference between ChatGPT free version and
Okay.
the plus version. And so it
Okay.
just gives you, you know, I'm debating now.
Because I looked it up too, so I want to hear what you just pulled, because I looked it up when I started my 3-part series on Chat GPT version 5. So what did you
Okay.
just pull?
Well, Google is in competition now with chat. So their AI is pulling up stuff. And it says for the free version, limited use of flagship GPT-5, typically restricted to 10 messages within a 5-hour window. Well, come on, 10 messages within a 5-hour window. That's not that big of a deal to me. You know what I'm
No,
saying? Free users are automatically downgraded to the faster but less capable ChatGPT after hitting the limit. So after 10 messages within a 5-hour window, you know, that's not oh, and so for the high for the paid, you get 160 messages per 3 hours.
yeah.
Does that make
And
sense?
you
And
would you really use that though?
that's the question. Yeah, would you
Yeah.
use that is the question. Would you use 10 messages within a 5-hour window?
Mm-mm.
That would be 20, like if you're going to be on there for like just say 10 hours a day, that would be 20 messages. So
And
I
I'm
don't
not
know.
ever.
Yep. You said never.
Never, because I have
Makes sense.
it has created descriptions, the titles,
Hmm.
SEO, hashtags,
I
search
saw
engine
that. I saw you
optimized,
do that.
hashtags, keywords. Yes, I did it on the fly using what creators put in the chat. And it brought up, it said, here's a fully optimized package, YouTube
That was
package
good.
for this creator. And y'all, I use it now to create thumbnails, and then I just plop KendyK with her smiling self right in the middle of those thumbnails, and these are good to go. These in my mind, these are good to
Uh-huh.
go
Yeah, that was
because I'm
good.
trying to become more savvy. Because time is we we have a finite amount of time, and I need more time. Because as a part-time creator, you just said it, Low Carb Queen, it feels like a full-time job
Oh,
as
it
a
does.
part-time creator. And so it is
Hmm.
like, it does feel like that. But y'all, this has been one of the most rewarding journeys of my life, that I started trying to learn something brand new at 48 years old. But y'all, we are doing it. We are more than conquerors. That's what I would say. We are
Yeah.
doing it. And just like the weight loss, it's making good choices. What is best for our channels? What is best for us in our lifestyles? I'm enjoying this conversation, Low Carb Queen. I'm just so happy that you're here with us.
Happy to
What
be
is
here.
coming up for you as far as any one of your 3 channels, or tell us what's coming up for you? What can we expect? We already know now that she's got an SEO video out there that we need to check out. But what do you have as far as content creation this weekend? What are you working on? What should we be looking for from you in these YouTube streets?
So usually I started going live on Wednesdays and actually taking my injection on the live. And then
I've
on
seen that.
Friday, I'll put out a video of everything that I've done, for the week, or how I'm reacting to the Mounjaro, that particular injection. So week 32 is my latest injection. And that video should have been out yesterday, but because I've been sick, it probably won't come out until Monday. And so that's what I try to do, what I eat in a day, the ups and downs. One of the things that you've heard me say before is that I noticed on people's journeys, a lot of people on their journey, they've only showed the after of, they haven't showed the before, they've only showed the after, or they only show the good side of weight loss. And we know that, there's a good and a bad. And so
Yeah.
I want somebody to be able to go to my weight loss journey channel and say, you know what? She binged. She had a bad day. Yada, yada, yada. But at the end of the day, you still lost weight. And so that's why I share a lot, and as my kids say, overshare. But that's why I share a lot and give you the good and the bad side. So that's the video that's going to be coming out. I really should. I heard you say you pulled your shorts where you unlisted them. I don't want to pull mine, but I want to cut back on my shorts because I really want to focus on the watch hours. Trying to get, my goal was to be monetized by September, by the end of September. So that's still my goal. Um, I've got
I'm
about
all
30.
in with you on that goal. Let's help Low Carb Queen monetize this channel. Low Carb Queen is helping so many humans. I was going to say women, but Low Carb Queen is helping so many folks who are using GLP-1s or just on a weight loss journey period, a lifestyle change period as a content creator. Let's help Low Carb Queen meet that goal. She has a goal of being fully monetized and getting her 4,000 watch hours by the end of September.
By the end of September, that is the goal. You probably have less watch hours to obtain than I do. I have 1,300 watch hours to obtain. So before
Okay.
I, yeah, but probably a little less than 1,300. But
We're gonna help you get there. I'm gonna help you. I'm
well,
gonna
thank
help you,
you.
and I'm inviting everyone under the sound of my voice, whether you catch this on the replay or if you're in a part of this dual live stream. Y'all, this has been one of the best live streams that I've had in my
Thank
Coffee and
you.
Conversations series. See, I need coffee, y'all. In our series for Coffee and Conversations. And I appreciate everyone in the chat. But if you're catching this on replay, let's all binge
Thank
watch
you.
Low Carb Queen's content because she is an amazing human, and
Thank you so
love
much.
her and love your transparency. You have been so transparent about everything, about your weight loss struggles, about the food noise, about how you feel after you titrated up. This last, see, I'm
Yeah.
trying to use your words, this last titration or whatever, this last dosage, you said, I need to go back down. So what are you telling after, was this 2 weeks now on the newer
This
dose? How's it going for you?
well this is my, because you get 4 shots in a pack. So
Okay.
yeah, so this is my first pack, and I'm due for another 4 on Wednesday. And my physician assistant wanted me to let her know if I wanted to go back down or not. So I'm going to stay on the 10.0. All of these new words, food noise, titration, all that, I've learned that in the GLP-1 community. One thing that I noticed, and we talked about when I did the interview with Joe, is that they titrate up, number one, quicker than we do. Okay.
In the
Our
US.
Yeah, in the US, so that's one of the reasons why they lose weight quicker. So I've been on it. This is my 32nd injection. So that's my week 32. So, but I spent about 12 weeks on 2.5 because when it first started, I was trying to get that constipation under control. Now, ideally, people were titrating every month. They get the 4 shots and titrate up, get the other 4 shots and go up. So by now, I would have been on the highest, which is 15. When I hit the 10, then I knew, like, okay, like pretty much they've been kind of easing you into this, but I can't even imagine what 12.5 will be like because
Uh-huh.
10 is still very strong. And 10 is clearly making me aware. Now, I did tell my physician assistant that I am going to stay with 10 because, 7.5 wasn't really doing it for me anymore. So I'm going to stay with 10. And I'm anticipating being on 10 probably from now until the end of the year if it continues to be as strong as it is. You know.
And when you say the 7.5 wasn't doing it for you anymore, but the 10 you feel is very strong. What are you talking about? Because again, I don't have any experience with GLP-1s. So can you break that down what that means?
So when I got to 7.5, it was definitely stronger than the 5.0. And what that means is it makes you, the feeling of being full is stronger.
So like suppressing your appetite.
Right. But not just the appetite suppression, just the feeling of being full, because when you eat something,
Oh,
you feel full normally.
uh-huh.
But when you eat something on this medication, you feel full for a long time. You know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
so feeling full, now you've got to decide when it's time for your next meal. Now you've got to decide if you're still feeling full. You have to decide, do I want to eat, or am I feeling too full? Because you might legitimately be hungry, but
Mm-hmm.
you might feel so full that you don't want to eat, which is why the doctors tell
Oh.
you to intentionally eat 3 meals a day, even if you're not hungry. Well, that could be hard to do if you're
Uh-huh.
not. Some people that I've known that are on it, they're not hungry, so they don't eat. And I'm not talking about in the GOP. you know, um,
Mm.
if they're not hungry, they just don't eat. While others that I've seen in the GLP community will go ahead on and eat, even if they're not hungry because they're trying to get those 3 meals a day. I just can't do that. That's a struggle for me. But
Mm-hmm.
the other side of that is when it begins, when you reach a point where you're really hungry, you know what I mean? And then you're going to decide to eat. And that may not always, you may not always make the right choices. I know I don't
Right.
always make the right choices. So it's a decision to be made. Like if it's time to eat dinner and my lunch is still sitting there, do I eat? And so when I say
Mm.
7.5 kind of wore off after the first 4 injections, 10 is even stronger. I feel full stronger, but not only the stronger feeling of feeling full, but not only that, when you overeat,
Mm-hmm.
it affects you because the food is now churning and moving in your body. You get cramps, you get
Mm.
gas,
Oh
you
wow.
get, yeah, you do. So you really cannot overeat. One thing my daughter said to me, she said, "This, what you're experiencing must be how it feels like for people who have the bypass, because when they overeat, they get diarrhea, blah blah blah. You really cannot overeat on 10
Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna feel it. I hope I explained it.
You did. You're giving me more information. You're giving us the true realities of it. And thank you for explaining this. So we see this is someone else from your community, JC Calamity Jane. I like that, Calamity Jane. Um, the fullness feeling, suppression is reduction. Oh, Twan was able to
Okay.
really try to explain this. So I'm learning new channels for me to connect with over the next few weeks. Thank you all for joining this larger conversation today. You guys are giving us great information in the chat. This is amazing. I know that's right. Class is in session. Class is in session. I love that. I love that. Coach Maureen says she's so proud of you, Kim. We are
Thank
all
you,
so proud
Coach.
of you. We are so proud of you that you are here with us, not
Thank
feeling
you.
100% with COVID. Bless your heart for being here with us. And are you okay to continue talking with us? We have about
Oh yeah.
another 20 minutes left in this session, and we're going to take it to about 10 minutes after the hour if anyone is wondering about that. Um, Oh, Gemini Diva is also on a weight loss journey and says that she is down. I love to hear that. And she said,
Thank
"Let's
you,
get it.
Coach.
Let's get it." Yeah, y'all stay motivated, and I love that about being connected now to Keto Granny and Low Carb Queen, and now I
Yes.
see some new friends. Joe's Sleep and Slim Down, connected now with her,
Granny.
meaning really absorbing the content. And Keto Granny, I think right after this has someone that she is interviewing. And so I can't wait to catch that right after this. I think it's right after this, or within the hour for sure. So
Mm-hmm.
check out Keto Granny. Y'all, it really kind of helps you to stay accountable and to stay in the right mindset. It helps me.
Yes.
That's what I found. It helps me, and to see you all working out on Saturday mornings. And I'm sorry that I wasn't able to work out for the last couple of weeks. I've been going to that farmer's market, and it kind of hurts my feelings. I'm going to try to get to the market this morning right after this, but y'all, I wasn't feeling the best myself this morning. So, but it's like that. That is part of life. But what I cannot do is eat recklessly. I have got to be in control. What are you eating today? Do you know, low carb queen? I'm just trying to help everyone get a better feel for how you're rethinking food and this as a lifestyle change.
Well, because I had been sick, I really hadn't been eating anything. Now, when we were coming on, I had grabbed one of these little things from my refrigerator. It's the Hillshire Farm oven roasted. It's 14 grams of protein. The turkey, cheese, and crackers. I knew I wasn't going to eat the turkey, but I said, I could nibble on like the cheese and crackers.
Why aren't you
Yeah.
eating the turkey?
I just don't. I just don't have. This is the thing. It's so
Okay.
crazy. Discovering your body and discovering food. So in the beginning of 2024, I stopped eating meat, and I did it for about 5 months. So now meat is completely different for me. Even though I've started back eating it, it is completely different. It smells like some things that
Mm.
I buy, I can't eat it because it smells. And so, yeah, like I try to stick to turkey. Of course, I try to do seafood. I'm allergic to freshwater fish, but I can eat seafood. But it just it's I just knew I wasn't gonna, by me not feeling well, I knew I probably wasn't going to eat the turkey. I didn't have a taste for it. And like I said, sometimes meat smells differently now. It just is not the same. And
Wow.
yeah. So I'll eat the cheese, the cheese and crackers. But that's the problem with being a vegetarian for me is the protein. You need the protein. Yeah, but
Right.
I'm definitely not going to eat it now. It's been sitting here for a minute, but
I
oh,
tried to eat less meat, Kim,
mhm, mhm,
and it just depletes me when I need protein and I need high protein, or else I just feel like you talking about brain fog. If I don't have protein, I feel like I don't. It's just bad news over here for me. And I feel, yes, I can get protein from beans and protein from mushrooms and things like that. But y'all, I just need some meat. So that is
yeah,
wow. So
it's
my
difficult.
mom lost a significant amount of weight by going to a mostly a vegetable
Mhm,
and far less protein, if any protein diet.
yeah.
And y'all, I have tried it. I never felt full, and I certainly did not have the energy that I have when I eat meat. I don't have a problem eating meat.
I,
Um,
I had energy. I had energy, but I didn't, like you say, now not feeling full. That was definitely for me. Not feeling full, definitely hungrier, but just not getting in that protein. Now that's another thing too to consider on the GLP-1. That first couple days after that injection, you will feel well, my experience, I will feel tired, and other people in the community have said that same thing, feeling tired after those first couple days. There's been times where I'm like, why am I so tired? Oh my God. Like
mhm,
I
mhm.
have an underactive thyroid, so I take a hormone pill anyway so that I'm not totally lethargic.
Me too. Are y'all seeing the commonalities? Do you see why I'm locked in to low carb queens content? Do you see that? Because yes, I have hypothyroidism, which is a See, I wish I could have been blessed with an overactive thyroid, because then I would have been, oh, you wouldn't be able to tell me nothing. Do you hear me? Nothing.
Exactly.
But nope, I have just the opposite, a very underactive thyroid. I've
Yes.
probably been on Synthroid, oh my gosh, 20 years or more.
Yeah, yeah. Same here. Same here. And you can tell the difference when you don't take it. Like
Yeah.
you probably are more, disciplined than I am. But some days when I don't, if I miss, ooh, I could tell.
Yeah.
So yeah, but like if I'm tired, then I'll have to remember that, oh, I took my injection yesterday or the day before, and just kind of press through that tiredness. That is a definite side effect for me.
Wow.
I don't know about
Wow.
anybody else in the chat, but if you find
Yeah.
yourself tired.
And I know they describe the thyroid as kind of an internal clock for your body,
Hmm.
and it controls a lot of other systems. Yeah, I'm not a scientist, I don't know. But when that thyroid is not working properly, for instance, and it is diagnosed underactive, it inhibits weight loss.
Yes.
And and so when I talk about pound for pound, and that's why I'm, again, y'all, I'm almost nervous about asking my doctor about GLP-1s. And doctor probably be like, yeah, let's go. But at least I hope my doctor is going to say that.
Hmm.
And then I'm nervous about injecting, giving myself a shot. I told you my father was a type 2 diabetic,
Hmm.
and the very thought, but that's why I said I want to go on a weight loss journey, because I don't want diabetes. Diabetes scares the life out of me. And I just I don't want that diagnosis. I struggle with high blood pressure, but with weight loss, my blood pressure is very controlled now,
Yeah.
thankfully. But I'm also very cognizant of my sodium intake and my salt intake, and
Mm-hmm.
you know those types of things. But injecting myself, and it looks like, I said, okay, so it's not, I'm not filling a syringe with something, and everything is preloaded. I love to see you when you do your shot days, but it does make me squeamish. So I worry, am I going to be able to do that to myself if I begin the so
Well, this is the old cliche. If
okay.
I can do it, anybody can do it.
Okay. 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 So you worried about that too, being able to give yourself the injection.
Hmm. I did, yeah,
And
definitely.
people talk about, I know I've seen you give it like in your stomach area, right?
I mostly give it in my thigh now. I have given it in my
Oh,
stomach before, which I don't show on camera. I don't show like giving it in my thigh on camera. I just, you know, let y'all
okay.
imagine. But I am giving it
Okay.
in my thigh. But yeah, because that's where I feel the most suppression, as they call it, the most suppression. That's where it's
Oh,
the strongest. So you have to decide. Like some people give it in their arm, some people in their stomach. Um, but I use my thigh.
wow. Yeah. Yeah. I'm nervous, but I'm kind of excited, and I want to try it. I want to try GLP-1s, and yeah. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Other friends, let me see what other friends are saying. AI. I'm just starting to use AI for my channel. I think I'm way down in the chat, y'all. So sorry. Um, someone's getting theirs in their stomach. Um, oh, it works internally. It will be melting the fat from the inside. Okay, okay. Harajin, seen your name over a lot on Low Carb
Hey,
Queens
Annette.
chat. A lot, a lot, a lot. I can't wait to connect with all of these great channels and content creators. So, as you can see, there's a great GLP-1 and lifestyle, slim down, weight loss community, a growing community of content creators. That content is, to me, it's ripe, and it's all, to me, evergreen, because losing weight is especially in America, is going to be evergreen content for us, because
Hmm.
we are, Americans, we are overeaters, we are overindulgers.
Absolutely.
And you
Absolutely.
mentioned about in other cultures, for instance, when I went to Greece, y'all, we ate our way through Greece. If you ever want to travel internationally, 10 out of 10, highly recommend Greece. Go to Greece, go to the island of Santorini, and then island hop and get on over there to Mykonos. Athens is just like New York City or any other major
Oh,
urban city.
wow.
Skip Athens, just fly. You have to fly into Athens, but spend your time in Santorini and Mykonos. And y'all, if we ate, this is what we came up with. When myself and two of my friends went to Greece last September, we talked about it over food. If we would just eat a Mediterranean diet
Yes,
that
I've heard that.
starts with a big, all of the meals, y'all, start with a good Greek salad.
Hmm.
No heavy dressings. They make their dressings, which are just light vinegar and oil based dress, very light. They have the fruit and vegetables taste good. They don't taste like
Hmm.
water. They taste like fruits and vegetables, heirloom tomatoes, cucumbers that have so much flavor. If we all their meals, friends, start with a good dose of a Greek salad of some type, even at
Wow.
breakfast, y'all. And so you constantly have all that good fiber going in, which is keeping your digestive system flowing in the right direction. And then, y'all, even if you're having like a big special meal or something, they give you a little cup of something. And I think I had a cocktail that night, y'all. So I don't remember what it was called. But they give you, because I'm a one drink wonder now. If you know KendyK, I'm a one drink wonder. But they give you a little something to drink after, quote, a big meal, right? And you drink that little something, and it's going to sure enough make you go to the bathroom.
Wow.
I say, y'all, we need to be eating a Mediterranean
Medicine.
diet.
Yeah,
And that's,
I've
you
heard
remember
that.
that craze that went on with Mediterranean
Yeah.
eating? We
Yeah.
need lots of grilled foods. Yeah. We we are silly Americans sometimes, you know. I mean, we're doing this thing all wrong because I know I feel better. High fiber is where it's at, and I now see the need for why the dietitian stresses high fiber, high fiber, high
Yeah.
fiber, because it just helps your digestive system stay in its best state. Is what I would
Absolutely.
say. Yeah,
Absolutely.
let's see what someone's saying. Joe has so many great things to say. I hope y'all are making a list of content creators you want to check out. The hormones play a huge part in our health and well-being. Yes, yes, yes. Menopause and perimenopause are real, as well as our um, thyroid system, our thyroid as well. Remember the GLP-1 and GIP, terzepatide are hormone peptides helping us. Ooh, okay, this is above my pay grade. She's talking
Joe is in it.
peptides. Peptides. I remember doing some science research in college, and we were working with peptides in that lab. I'm just joking about an overactive thyroid, but I think I would be, weight would just be falling off of me if I had an overactive thyroid. Mine is underactive, and it is.
Yeah.
I blame everything on that thyroid. I mean, your skin is dry, nails are brittle, hair is
Mm.
not right, all of the things, and it all goes. I saw a chart with the um endocrinologist,
Uh-huh.
and I said, sir, I have all those symptoms, everything on that chart. I experienced all of those things. But anyway, I saw Kim looking at her clock. Y'all, Kim is under the weather, and Kim has been a trooper with us. And so, y'all, we want to come down from this place. Y'all, let's send Kim. Kim, I hope you're going to get yourself some rest. What
Oh
do you
yeah.
have going on today? Are you going to go back and rest for a little bit?
Yeah, I'm not really doing it. I told you I'm confined to my bedroom. I'm not really doing anything. The girls have been waiting on me. Well, one of them
Oh,
hand and foot. Thank God.
y'all you take care of your mom because she
Oh
is
yeah.
precious to us. She is precious indeed, and I'm just I'm just super excited to know you. I feel like I know you really well, especially
Yes,
when you
same
and that's
here.
any creator when you watch their content, and there's just a sharing of yourself, and there's an exposure. How do you have trolls
Oh yeah.
that come into your chat? How do you deal with that? Or you just shake it off, or it's just a
I
part?
do. Listen, I taught high school. So trolls, that's nothing. You know what I mean? I used to say, "Oh, I've arrived. I'm getting trolls," because for a while I never had any, and then you start getting them, and I don't really, they don't bother me. If I have what do you call them with the wrench? The
Moderators.
Yeah, if I have moderators, then they will deal with them. But most of the time, I don't necessarily entertain them, but I just every now and then I'll go on what I call an intellectual psychological tangent, because before I let you get in my head, I'm gonna try to get in yours.
Yes.
That's just who
See, that's
I
what I do. That's what I don't deal with a lot of trolls, and so I hope that by me saying that, I hope that doesn't bring on the trolls.
am.
But yeah, I've had some trolling situations, but not to the degree that I've seen a lot of folks have. Like sometimes they have to end their chat because it's just inundated with trolls.
Yeah,
But I say we real grown over here. We don't do any of that over
yeah,
here. And this is going to most people. This might be boring, but not to us. We love the conversation, and we're just over here talking as real grown people. We don't do any of that foolishness. And I also don't hang out in the YouTube streets in the late night hour. A lot of folks are in these streets. KendyK is asleep or somewhere in the chair falling asleep. So I haven't had a lot of trolls, but you're right. Good moderators help to support that. And it is
hmm
clear, Low Carb Queen, you have got a great community of subscribers who are supporting you. And that's the way to grow a channel organically. And
Yeah,
it is it's a labor of love though. I love pushing out content, and I'm loving what I'm learning, and I'm learning so much from you. You've got a great website now. You've got a
thank
great
you,
theme song, and love everything about your channel and your channel page. Everything is just so well done, and
thank you,
love to see you in the kitchen. And I can't wait to see you in the kitchen again real soon once you
thank
are
you.
feeling up to par. So take care of yourself. And
I love editing. I probably could get a side hustle editing, but I take a long time.
really,
I
well,
love, I,
look,
I do
look,
love
let's
editing.
talk about that because I am not much of an editor. What do you use for editing? Let's kind of end there. What do you use to edit?
I use Wondershare. It's
Never
called
heard of it.
Wondershare for it's either Wondershare or Filmora. It's the same company. But yeah, that's what it's called. And I use that on my laptop.
Okay. Yeah, I edit
Yeah.
everything on my phone. When I put together
Yeah, see.
videos, I
Mhm.
use iMovie because I'm using an iPhone 15 Pro Max,
Yeah.
and I just I have a old iPad somewhere. Y'all, I bought a new charger and then I couldn't find the iPad. Why? Because I'm a woman of a particular age and I lose everything. I have no idea.
But
So
see,
I
even
said,
in that, that's that age difference. I have learned to use my iPhone to edit, but I don't like to. I like to edit. I go so far as to transfer you know, my my videos from my phone onto my laptop so I can edit. That's like really bad, but that's that age difference.
I do that. I do some of that too because these eyes
Oh,
are not
okay.
as good as they used to be. These eyes are not as good, but because it's the iPhone, and all I know how to edit on at this moment is iMovie. I have to
Okay.
do it on that little phone, which is why it is difficult for me to push out long format videos. But y'all, I had so many long format videos. I didn't even know I could go live, y'all. I did not even know I could go live. Forgot to go live. I didn't start going live until March of 2025. And I've been on YouTube since January of 2024.
Oh, wow. Oh, okay. You're
Is that
doing
not crazy?
fantastic. But you're doing fantastic if you just started last year.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
phenomenal.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you. That means a lot to me coming from you. Here we have. I have an iPad, but my phone is my buddy for editing. Yep, I just use my little fat fingers and do what I can do until these old eyes fail me. Then I have to take a break. Yeah, it's hard editing with these thumbs. That's what I said. I need to. I don't know. I'm trying to budget because I'm trying to retire early myself, Miss Kim, low key. Now I'm trying to retire early. I'm like, give me 5 or 7 years and then I'm coming out of this thing, y'all, because working is not a vibe. Let me be quiet. I'm grateful to be employed because this economy is looking a mess.
Hmm.
Power Director is another content
Yeah.
creation tool. I think I've heard of that for editing.
Hmm.
I've heard a little bit of
She said
that.
my eyes will hit 52 in January. Life with Tanisha. Okay.
Hey, Libra. Oh, there's life with Tanisha RN. And Tanisha hung in there with us yesterday. Tanisha, I was on that 50 plus and I saw you come through there too. Low carb queen, bless your heart, not even
Hmm.
feeling well. And you still came through to support. Appreciate you for that. I was on that with that's a 50 plus creator community. So check that content out on my channel. And y'all, they, it's very informal. People might think that's a very formal situation. It is not. So please, I updated my description box and made sure that you're connected with the host of that in case you want to join that panel. You're invited to do so. And they
Okay.
said that a couple of times yesterday. So great way to grow your community. Low Carb Queen, thank you for joining us for coffee and
Thank you.
conversations this morning. I'm not gonna say goodbye because I'm gonna keep rocking and riding with you. We're
Yes,
gonna
me
get you
too.
to full monetization, y'all.
Thank
Binge
you.
watch the content. You have taught me so many recipes because I'm not much of a cook, y'all. I cook what I know how to cook, but Low Carb Queen, you be pulling out everything, making her own granola, and I said, yes.
Yes. I
Your
love the
breakfast,
granola.
everything is so intricate. You have like so many. I'm like,
Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you.
hashtag channel goals, hashtag weight loss goals, hashtag
Oh
nutrition
my
goals.
goodness.
Low Carb Queen is, I'm so glad that you are in this journey because you are teaching and helping to so many. I'm going to let you go. Y'all have a wonderful, make it a marvelous day, make it a productive day, and make good choices. And you'll have the last word, Low Carb Queen.
I just want to say thank you for having me. I appreciate it. I appreciate your content. And you already know you're doing great things over there. You've only been on YouTube for a year. That's phenomenal. So that's good.
January 2024. January
Yeah.
2024. So about a year and a half.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That's yeah,
just
you
started going live in March. Why do you think I go live, y'all? Because I'm still learning how to go live.
that's good though.
And
Can,
so nervous. Do you see I can't sit still because I'm nervous?
oh
Yeah, I'm still nervous. Are you nervous when you go live?
no, no, maybe on Sundays on my other channel, but not
Okay.
over here. Yeah. Yeah, but not over
Okay.
here. Mm-mm.
This feels like home. Okay. I get it. All right, we're gonna let you go. Thank you all so much. You got to do your tagline. I know it's on my channel, but do it because you say it so nice. Go ahead.
Low carb journey, low carb life with your low carb queen. And remember, every day is a new beginning. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Goodbye for now.
All right.